Chapter 11. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although the Six Paths Sage appears in a positive image in the original work, this is just a few words in the original work. I absolutely cannot bet my life that the Six Paths Sage is a good person. Besides, good people are relative. He is good to Naruto and Sasuke, which does not mean he is good to others. Looking at Naruto being bullied, Uchiha Shinichi was tactful and did not meddle in other people's affairs. His Uchiha identity was sensitive enough. If he contacted Jinchuriki again, he would probably be persuaded to retreat by the Umbu hiding in the dark on the spot, and there was a great possibility that he would be invited to drink tea and interrogated. Uchiha clan land. Shinichi, you're back so early. Don't you feel bored doing nothing every day? You don't accept the missions assigned by the village, and you don't plan to join the guard department. Is it enough to just rely on your parents' money? That looking at the lazy Uchiha Shinichi and comparing it with the tense situation in the clan, kidHate couldn't help but feel a little annoyed. Doesn't this guy feel anything at all about the family's current precarious situation? Thank you for your concern. That's enough. I don't have any hobbies that it won't cost much. As if he didn't hear kidHate's sarcasm at all, Uchiha Shinichi answered calmly. You guy. Okay, kidHate, everyone has the right to choose their own way of life. After all, Shinichi's ability is only average. Let's not set too high a standard for him. Let's go, don't forget our purpose today. Nindai, who was standing aside, looked at the angry kidHate and hurriedly came out to smooth things over. Humph, we can't be so lazy. Our Uchiha clan is in trouble now. More strength means more insurance. No, we can't let this guy go on like a lazy fish. Let's go. We are going to find Uchiha Itachi. Shinichi, come with us. He said, regardless of his own opinion, and directly pulled Shinichi's arm and dragged them to the clan leader's mansion. Hey, what are you doing? I'm just a chunin, it's not appropriate for me to act with you. Also, why are you going to look for Uchiha Itachi? He's the son of the clan leader, calm down. Is this the scene where he questioned Uchiha Itachi in the original novel? Is this the scene where he got beaten? Humph, what son of the clan leader? If he has done nothing wrong, he is the son of the clan leader. If he has done something wrong, who cares who he is? Although he had a lot of opinions about Uchiha Shinichi's attitude towards life, he was his own brother after all, so Uchiha kidHate did not show his displeasure anymore. Did you commit a crime? What's the situation? Even if you did commit a crime, you can't just rush over like that. The security department will naturally handle it. If I go over there, when Uchiha Itachi starts to fight, I might get caught in the crossfire. Although I am not afraid of Uchiha Itachi with my current strength, now is not the time to expose my strength. Otherwise, I will be targeted by the top leaders and Obito, and I have to be prepared to guard against thieves for 1,000 days. It was because the security department could not produce solid evidence that we went to look for Itachi. Although there was no clue in Shirsue's last words, someone saw Itachi go to Shirsue that day. No matter what the reason was, Itachi must know some unknown secrets. The 9th Uchiha didn't know much about Itachi, but he was the son of the clan leader and another genius of the Uchiha clan after Shirsue. We're here, Uchiha Itachi, you bastard, come out here. Looking at the tightly closed door, Uchiha kidHate didn't care that this was the clan leader's residence, and he just knocked on the door unscrupulously. Is this the group of people led by kidHate? Itachi Uchiha, who was accompanying Sasuke at home, suddenly heard kidHate's voice and his face was a little gloomy. kidHate, this guy, has not been quiet at all recently. It seems that Shirsue's affairs can't be concealed for much longer. Sasuke, please go in first. I have something to do. Okay, brother, hurry up. Well, I'll try my best. As the door opened, Uchiha Itachi, who looked precocious, appeared in front of everyone. Uchiha Itachi. Finally met, this guy seemed to be younger than me. Uchiha Shinichi quietly retreated behind everyone and began to secretly look at this filial son who launched the night of genocide. If you have anything to say, please come in first. After all, this is the clan leader's residence. You don't want to make a scene known to everyone in Konoha, right? Uchiha Itachi glanced at everyone indifferently, and stepped aside to speak to kidHate, kidHate, Ken, Yayoi, Jimaru, huh? Who is this guy? Forget it, if he can hang out with people like kidHate, he must be a narrow-minded person. Humph, if you don't want to make a big fuss, why don't you just tell us everything that happened that day? The crowd, led by kidHate, was not afraid of the title of Uchiha Itachi, the son of the clan leader. After all, kidHate's grandfather was the second elder of the Uchiha clan, and he didn't have to look at the face of the clan leader. Even in the current situation, the clan leader still had to look at the faces of these elders. I have nothing to say. As for Shisui, it's just as he said in the letter. You can believe it or not. Now Konoha and the Uchiha clan are already at loggerheads, and you still want to touch Shisui's fuse. You are such a stupid and ignorant clan. Letters can be made to look real if you find someone familiar with them. Am I right, Itachi? As the person who has the best relationship with Shisui, you don't have anything to say? kidHate said, observing Uchiha Itachi's expression. I don't understand what you're talking about. Itachi Uchiha, who had many years of experience as a double agent, would naturally not be observed by the Nine Kai to be anything unusual. Did he really suspect this? After all, Shisui's death was too sudden and too plain, but it didn't matter. He didn't plan to use this forged letter to conceal it for long. Don't know. There aren't many people in Konoha who can take down Shisui. We can rule out the Uchiha clan, so is there anything else to say? You, who are in the Umbu, should be able to find relevant information easily. I don't believe that the Konoha high-level officials didn't leave any clues about Shisui's death, or is it you, the person closest to him, who attacked Shisui? Uchiha Yayoi said this quite bluntly, and his three Magatama Sharingan looked at Uchiha Itachi in front of him with malice. Yayoi, calm down. Itachi is also a member of the Uchiha clan. Compared to Itachi killing Shisui, I think it is more likely that it was done by those bastards in the Konoha upper echelons, right, Itachi, but it's not that I look down on this guy in front of me. Itachi's strength alone is far from being Shisui's opponent. Of course, a sneak attack may succeed, but it is impossible to leave no traces. This was definitely done by the Konoha upper echelons. Chapter 12. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Uchiha clan hee ha ha ha, you keep talking about clan all the time. What do you guys think of Konoha? You are so narrow-minded. No wonder the Uchiha clan has been excluded and can't integrate into Konoha. Facing everyone's questioning, Uchiha Itachi's emotions were a little out of control. What's your attitude? Is it our fault that we are excluded? It's those civilians who always cause trouble. As the managers of the security department, can we just ignore it? Hearing this, Uchiha Jien stepped forward and grabbed Itachi's collar and asked excitedly, as a member of the security department, no one knows better than him how much he and others have suffered in their daily work. Hearing Uchiha Itachi's self-evident remarks, Jien couldn't control his emotions. TSK, so you abuse your power to oppress your fellow Konoha people. You narrow-minded, arrogant, selfish clan. Although he was grabbed by the collar, Uchiha Itachi still looked down at them with contempt. Damn it, you bastard! Bang! Uchiha Jien couldn't help it and started to fight directly. Swish! Itachi, who was hit by a punch, completely broke out the depression in his heart and easily avoided Uchiha Jien's subsequent attacks. Uchiha Itachi directly and fiercely began to counterattack. Bang! The difference in strength between the two was too big, and Uchiha Jien was completely in a passive position. This was because Uchiha Itachi retained the last bit of reason and didn't kill him, otherwise Uchiha Jien would probably have died in a few rounds on the real battlefield. Seeing that Uchiha Jien was no match, kidHate and others also joined the battle. In this case, they didn't care about bullying the weak with the majority. Uchiha Itachi was really hateful, only Shinichi stood aside and watched the show. As a weak chicken chunin, no one would say anything even if he didn't join this battle, right? That's at the door. Nijiru. Stop fighting. Stop it, brother. Uchiha Sasuke behind the door looked at this trend and was a little frightened and at a loss. Although his brother had the upper hand, these were all his own people after all. If things got out of hand, his father might not be able to save his brother. Sasuke, looking at his brother's eyes, Uchiha Itachi slowly regained his composure, suppressed the anger in his heart, and knelt down to apologize to Uchiha and others. This move really made the bruised and swollen people at a loss. According to the normal process, Uchiha Itachi would not escape punishment for what happened today, but now the other party knelt down to apologize as the son of the clan leader. If this gets out, wouldn't it become that they and others coerced and oppressed the son of the clan leader? Forget it, this matter is not as serious as kneeling down to apologize. Faced with the king bomb thrown by Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha and others could not pursue it further. Is this Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan? Looking at Uchiha Itachi kneeling on the ground, Shinichi also noticed the change in his 3 Magatama Sharingan. This psychopath's mood is still a little unstable. Fortunately, Uchiha and his people didn't make trouble again, otherwise, if they really exploded, the night of genocide would probably be brought forward. What is that? Uchiha Shinichi, who was about to evacuate with Uchiha and others, suddenly found the white individual on the tree in the courtyard in the distance. Curious what exactly is Itachi Kunzai technique? He has already opened the Mangekyo, why doesn't he use it? When will the task assigned by Madara-sama be completed? White Zetsu, who was in charge of monitoring Uchiha Itachi, watched everything happening below with boredom. Is this White Zetsu? His hiding ability is indeed strong. Even at such a close distance, he did not feel his presence. He was just like an ordinary tree. If he had not happened to look over here, he would have missed it today. This big tree is the only suitable tree in the courtyard for hiding. In addition, White Zetsu is confident in his own abilities and has a strange personality. If Obito wants to monitor Uchiha Itachi, this place is not very safe, but it is the most suitable place for White Zetsu to hide. Ordinary people would at most sense this kind of fake hiding place and not care about it anymore, but except for fairy techniques, other perception techniques are restrained by White Zetsu. Do you want to know what it feels like to have a bowel movement? After groping behind White Zetsu, Uchiha Shinichi suddenly subdued White Zetsu in front of him. Who? The urge to defecate. Do you also want to experience the feeling of the urge to defecate? Although he had been subdued, White Zetsu had no idea what fear was. Facing the sudden appearance of Uchiha Shinichi, he was not panicked but took the initiative to talk to him. Is he really a retard? Sacrifice. White Zetsu's own strength is not strong, not to mention that he is still unable to resist. This wave of sacrifice did not consume much pupil power. The improvement in strength is extremely weak, but this power would release. Looking at the legs slowly sinking into the tree, Uchiha Shinichi understood in his heart, White Zetsu's weakened would release, mayfly technique. Now the chance of obtaining the body of Senju Hashirama is greater. Well, judging from Obito's situation, White Zetsu should be able to help the Mangekyo Sharingan slowly restore pupil power. Why is there no feeling at all? Is it because the recovery is too slow? It is not advisable to stay here for a long time, let's go back first. Damn it, Itachi is such a ruthless guy. Uchiha rubbed the wound on his chest and looked back at the clan leader's mansion with a gloomy face. I didn't expect this guy to be so strong. If that's the case, Shisui might really fall into his hands. Although the 9-day was not seriously injured, the battle just now showed the gap between him and Uchiha Itachi. By the way, where is Shinichi? I haven't seen him since a while ago. Uchiha Ken, who started the fight first, was the one who was least injured. He still cared about Uchiha Shinichi's existence at this time. Now that I think about it, there is indeed one person missing. Could this guy Shinichi have run away from the beginning? Isn't this guy too disloyal? It's understandable that he's weaker, but he shouldn't run away, right? Even if he stays to plunder the enemy, it would be fine. What's so strange about this? We, the Jonin, would be beaten if we go up there. It would be better for Shinichi, a Chunin, to run and call for help. The kidHate had some guesses about Shinichi's departure. After all, anyone who encountered such a thing would think of going to the security department to solve it. Humph, forget it, never mind that guy, his weak strength is a flaw, and I don't expect him to be of any help. Taiwa had no good or bad feelings towards Uchiha Shinichi's actions, he just looked at him as a passerby, a few days later. Isn't this recovery speed too slow? On average, only 1% of the pupil power is restored in one day. It takes 100 days to fully restore the pupil power. The tribesmen probably don't live long enough to wait for this CD. Uchiha Shinichi sat in the house, rubbing his black hair in distress. Chapter 13. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It seems that we still have to rely on the elders of Konoha to open up the situation. With the ability of White Zetsu to hide his breath and the secret technique of Mayfly, he can completely control Uchiha Koharu without alerting the Umbu. Hiruzen has changed a lot since that incident. First it was Lake Biwa, and now it's Asuma's turn. Sai Koharu Uchiha, who hadn't fallen asleep yet, flipped through the files in her hand and recalled the recent massacres. Uchiha Shinichi, dressed in black, emerged silently from the ground. There are actually 3 teams guarding around. As expected of an elder of Konoha, even if he is not in charge of the route and the Umbu, the guards around him are not comparable to those of Asuma. Fortunately, he was cautious enough before and didn't rashly treat Koharu Uchiha as Asuma, otherwise he would probably be on his way to escape. By the way, with Asuma's previous personality, he shouldn't have done such a thing. This time, the situation is full of strangeness. It can change people's thinking and personality. Mangekyo. Uchiha Shursui. Koto Tsukumi. The figure of Uchiha Shursui, who was already determined to be dead, suddenly appeared in Koharu Uchiha's mind. Could it be that Asuma was hit by Uchiha Shursui's Mangekyo technique? Impossible, Uchiha Shursui is clearly dead. Wait, his Mangekyo was preserved, it was that brat Uchiha Itachi. I didn't expect that this guy was so deep-minded at such a young age. Hiruzen and I were deceived by the evil brat Uchiha Itachi. No, we must inform Hiruzen. Thinking of this, Uchiha Koharu didn't even plan to sleep, she got up and wanted to go out. Koto Tsukumi. Uchiha Shinichi, who had been prepared for a long time, was waiting for this moment. Uchiha Koharu, who was only an elite jonin, was completely unprepared. Facing the sudden Koto Tsukumi, she had no room to resist at all. The whole process did not even alert the Umbu members guarding outside. Where is the body of Senju Hashirama stored? Looking at the respectful Uchiha Koharu in front of him, Uchiha Shinichi felt secretly happy, but it was a pity that the control of the light of the other gods on Uchiha Koharu was only temporary. Reporting to the Lord, the corpse of the first Hokage has been stored in the roots of Danzo for his research and development of wood release. The controlled Uchiha Koharu did not resist at all and easily revealed such a secret. It must be said that Koto Tsukumi is really very perverted. Do you have the right to touch the body of the first Hokage? It would be best if you don't alert the Danzo and his men. Several of us in the upper echelons have the right to touch the corpse of the Shodaime, but if we do it without a reason, it will definitely arouse suspicion. I'm afraid that this is impossible. Even Danzo touched the corpse of the Shodaime because he was researching wood release. It's impossible for me to touch such things without any reason without being suspected. The implanted thought stamp, Koharu Uchiha, began to think about the possibility of this from Uchiha Shinichi's perspective. Is that so? In other words, if you have a reason, you can get in touch with the corpse of the first generation, right? That's right, but it's hard to find such an excuse right now. Orochimaru has already defected, the wood release plan has long been shelved, and at most Danzo is still exploring. Yen and I have long stopped caring about this matter. Then start with Orochimaru. As far as I know, during Orochimaru's wood release experiment, there was a successful case that was hidden by Danzo. Let's start with this successful case. You go and tell the third Hokage about it. Then you can use it as an excuse to intervene in the wood release research and find a chance to contact the corpse of the first Hokage. The assassination of the third Hokage by Yamato should not have happened yet. Judging from the age comparison between Yamato and Kakashi, that should have happened after the Uchiha clan was exterminated. What? There is a successful case of wood release experiment. Danzo actually hid it from us. Damn it, we must inform Hiruzen about this. Wood release cannot be controlled by Danzo alone, although he has turned to Uchiha Shinichi. The thinking logic of Uchiha Koharu as an elder of Konoha is not much different from before. It's up to you. Help me arrange a guard identity. I'll have to stay with you for the next period of time. In order to avoid unexpected situations beyond my control, I can only watch over Koharu Uchiha all the time. The temporary Koto Amatsukami is not as convenient as the permanent Koto Amatsukami. Unfortunately, the cooling time of the permanent Koto Amatsukami is too long. Got it. I will let the clan members cooperate with you. Then you can follow me as a ninja of the Uchiha clan. This way, you won't arouse suspicion from Hiruzen and the others. Uchiha Koharu figured out how to arrange Uchiha Shinichi's identity in a matter of minutes. Konoha, Hokage office building. What? Xiaochun, are you sure the news is accurate? Did Danzo really keep the results of wood release privately? Damn, who is the black glove of whom? So I am the one who is covering for Danzo. It's absolutely correct. This is the information I confirmed after a long time of private investigation. The child who possesses wood release was named Jia by Danzo, and he should be able to use relatively low-level wood release ninjutsu now. Facing Sarutobi Hiruzen's questioning, Uchiha Koharu answered calmly. Although it was not glorious to investigate a companion privately, this was the profession of a ninja, not to mention that it was related to the wood release of the first generation. Everything he did was for Konoha. Danzo is getting more and more dishonest. I wanted to punish him for the Shisui incident, but I didn't expect him to keep the wood release secret. It seems that I can't indulge him anymore. Xiaochun, Yen, you guys come with me to the route. Other things don't matter, but the wood release must be controlled in one's own hands. Danzo already has the route. If he is allowed to control the wood release, this powerful weapon, based on my understanding of this old guy, he may not be able to serve as the Dark of Konoha. For the peace and stability of Konoha, Danzo, you better hand over the child named Jia. Hiruzen, Jia is only the wood release master I have discovered so far, but you also know that scientific research is easy to replicate. Who knows if Danzo has any other achievements? So I think it is necessary to place someone other than him in Danzo's route. An organization like the route cannot be controlled by Danzo alone. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's intention to seize the wood release achievement, Uchiha Koharu took the opportunity to put forward her own opinion. What you said makes sense, Xiaochun. Even for the sake of Konoha's stability, the route cannot be controlled by Danzo alone. I will split the route into 3 parts, and you, Danzo, and N will each control 1 part. Chapter 14. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So that's it, is Koharu's purpose in doing all this to seize power? Well, it's easy for Danzo to become powerful alone, and with Koharu and Yen to contain and divide the power of the root, he can sit more comfortably as Hokage. I have no objection, everything is up to you, Hiruzen. I didn't expect that I could get benefits even if I was just slacking off. This guy Xiaochun is really good at it. At the root base, Sarutobi Hiruzen and his 3 companions, along with a group of Umbu, were looking at the one-eyed dragon in front of them. Hiruzen, what do you mean by this? What have I done to offend Konoha that caused such a big commotion? That you have mobilized so many troops, that what's going on? Even Koharu and Yen, who usually don't take care of things, have come. I haven't done anything else recently except for Uchiha Shisui. Do Hiruzen and the others know that I have obtained Shisui Koto Amatsukami Mangekyo? Damn it, was it the information leaked by that brat Uchiha Itachi? Danzo, I thought that turning a blind eye to your actions would make you restrain yourself, but I didn't expect you to go even further and even start to deceive me, the third Hokage, that you can use your power to pressure others, but you must not take action. The purpose of my trip is just to achieve the results of wood release, not to force this old friend to defect, not to mention that he has the entire route behind him. Konoha can't afford the loss. Danzo, your crime has been exposed, tell the truth. For the sake of our former companions, I will ask Hiruzen to be as lenient as possible with what you did. After all, we have been teammates for many years. Looking at Danzo with an uncertain face, Yatain Koharu began to force him. Damn, it seems that Uchiha Shisui told Uchiha Itachi about his robbery of Koto Amatsukumi's Mangekyo. Hiruzen should have wanted to ask Itachi about the whereabouts of Shisui's Mangekyo, so this scene happened. Hiruzen, listen to my explanation. The situation was urgent at that time. You also know Uchiha Shisui's Koto Amatsukumi. I took this Mangekyo for Konoha, and I have no selfish motives. It's useless to explain now. For Koto Amatsukumi, Hiruzen even sent out the Umbu and even called 2 senior elders who didn't care much about the matter. If he didn't want to defect to Konoha, he could only hand over Koto Amatsukumi's Mangekyo. Yes, if he were Hiruzen, he would never let someone else control the Mangekyo of Koto Amatsukumi. What? Uchiha Shisui's Mangekyo is in your hands. I trusted you so much, but you still hid this trick. That it seems that what Koharu said is right. The route must not be controlled by Danzo alone. I don't know how many things this guy has done behind my back. After all, the black gloves didn't work, and I was pushed to the front to take the blame for him. Danzo, you hide deeper than anyone else. Huh? Hiruzen, you didn't know about the Mangekyo? Then why did you come here this time? Damn it, I was actually tricked. If I had known, I would have refused to admit it. Now, I guess I can't save the other gods. Let's not talk about other things first, just hand over Koto Amatsukumi before we talk about other things. If it was just now, I would not be afraid of Danzo. After all, the strength and the situation are on my side, but now Danzo has something like Koto Amatsukumi. If I ask for the results of wood release at this time, Danzo might be desperate, although he won't defect to Konoha. What if he uses Koto Amatsukumi on me? Danzo may not kill me, but controlling me to preserve his years of achievements and control Konoha at the same time, based on my understanding of him, this guy Danzo will definitely do this, and he may even have started planning to do so. Hiruzen, why don't you keep Koto Amatsukumi with me first? As the Hokage, you don't usually use it. Only organizations like our root can make the most of Koto Amatsukumi's Mangekyo. Although he had already guessed the result, Danzo still wanted to fight for it. After all, he had worked so hard to get it. Mangekyo is not a cabbage. Without Uchiha Shisui, only Uchiha Itachi has this kind of eyes in the whole ninja world. Wait, Uchiha Itachi. That kid doesn't seem to be very strong. Since he can deal with a strong man like Uchiha Shisui, and with the experience of dealing with the Mangekyo before, it shouldn't be difficult to take down Uchiha Itachi, who just got the Mangekyo Sharingan. What's more, the remaining eye of Uchiha Shisui should be in Uchiha Itachi's hands. If he can take him down, he can get 3 Mangekyo Sharingan in an instant. So, it's not a big deal to hand Koto Amatsukumi over to Hiruzen now. Impossible, Danzo, you should know the harm of Koto Amatsukumi. I will never let this thing get out of control. Hand it over, Danzo, don't force me. In this situation, Danzo is still struggling. It seems that the matter of splitting the roots is imminent. Phew, I understand. Hiruzen, wait a moment. I have transplanted your eyes. It will take some time to remove them. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's resolute attitude, Danzo, who already had other plans, did not intend to fight him, the third Hokage, to the end on this matter. It was just a Mangekyo Sharingan. As long as he could take down Uchiha Itachi, all 3 Mangekyos would be his. Transplanted. Yamaniki, go help our Lord Danzo. In order to prevent Danzo from secretly leaving a backup plan, Sarutobi Hiruzen directly asked the Anbu medical jonin who followed him to take action. After all, this was the Mangekyo Sharingan. If Danzo made a fake eye to destroy the body, he would have to accept the defeat if he didn't want to force him to defect. Yes, Sandim-sama. A female ninja stepped out of the crowd and walked straight to Danzo, facing Danzo's cold eyes. Shangue was still a little timid, but thinking that he had the Sandame's support, Shangue's movements became much smoother. In the ninja world, even a genin like Noera Rin can successfully perform a small operation like eye transplantation, so it is even easier for a medical jonin like Shangue. In just a short while, Uchiha Shirsue's Mangekyo Sharingan appeared in the container in Shangue's hand. Sandim-sama, the operation was successful. Handing the hot potato in his hand to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Yamane quickly returned to the team and tried to reduce his presence as much as possible. Today's matter was obviously not something that a civilian jonin like him could intervene in. However, he never expected that Shirsue, who was famous in the ninja world for making the enemy flee at the sight of him, would fall into his own hands. Elder Danzo did such a thing, but Sandim-sama had no intention of pursuing punishment at all. Is this still the will of fire that he knew? Chapter 15. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hiss. Okay, the work is done. If there is nothing else, I will not keep you here. No, a spare 3 Magatama must be transplanted immediately. Feeling the discomfort coming from his arm, Danzo understood that this was the agitation of the wood-release cells. Now without Uchiha Shirsue's Mangekyo, the few Sharingans on his arm could only barely suppress the wood-release cells. Why is there only one? At this point, Danzo, do you still want to hold back? Looking at the Mangekyo Sharingan in his hand, the third Hokage looked at Danzo with a slightly ugly expression and asked. Humph, it's not that I want to keep it, but I only left one eye of Uchiha Shirsue, otherwise he wouldn't have escaped. I guess the other Mangekyo is in the hands of that brat Uchiha Itachi. With that brat's trust in you, you can find out this information by just asking around. There's no need for me to lie to you. Faced with his old friend's questioning, Danzo explained patiently with a dark face. Humph. I'll believe you for once, but the story is not over yet. Don't you have anything to say about the wood-release ninja codenamed Jia under your command? You and Orochimaru have done a lot of things behind my back these years, haven't you? It was you who started the wood-release project, and it was you who asked me to support it. I gave you the funds and manpower, but in the end, I became an outsider after the results were achieved. At this point, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't control his emotions. He had always been in control of the overall situation with the mentality of a wise man, but he didn't expect to find out that Danzo, whom he despised, was the wise man. He was like a clown, thinking that he had everything under control. In fact, all the good things were taken away by Danzo, and he didn't get anything. Instead, he spent money and effort to cover for him. What, Hiruzen, how did you know about the existence of Kabuto? It is obvious that only Ryoma and I knew about this matter. Even Orochimaru himself should not know about this matter. Is it possible? Impossible, Ryoma will never betray me. There is a restriction that the tongue can never be used to cause trouble. The sudden questioning made Danzo lose his composure. Even Hiruzen knew about the existence of Kabuto, which meant that everything he had done over the years was completely secret from him. Even the transplanted Sharingan and wood-release on his arm were probably under Hiruzen's surveillance. Damn it, Hiruzen, this hypocritical guy, was still so insidious. Don't worry about how I know it, just tell me honestly. In view of your series of actions, the route will be jointly controlled by Xiaochun and Yen with you in the future. I will let Xiaochun and Yen review the data of the wood-release experiments in recent years. If there are other results, you'd better tell us as soon as possible, don't waste everyone's time. Xiaochun was right, Danzo actually hit a wood-release ninja. Fortunately, he was discovered early. If this wood-release ninja grows up, I, the Hokage, will probably not be able to suppress him. No, armor is my hard work for many years. Hiruzen, you must at least leave some for me. The Mangekyo Sharingan has been handed over to you, and wood-release must be left to me. Moreover, armor is still young and does not have combat power. It is useless for you to take it. It is better to leave it to the root so that I can train it well. So the reason why Hiruzen came here today was actually because of this. Damn it, where did the news leak out? Did Orochimaru realize something was wrong later? So he passed the message to Hiruzen. Humph, knowing that you can't snatch the results of wood release from me, you want Hiruzen to disgust me? Orochimaru, you guys are still so nosy even if you defected. Humph, impossible, Jia must be taught by me, this is a matter of great importance to Konoha's future, your root style of doing things is not suitable for him. What a joke, if you don't come here when he is still young and has no fighting ability, when he grows up, it will not be up to you to say it. You, Hiruzen, you will regret this. Damn it, I shouldn't have handed over the Mangekyo. This situation is too passive for me. Danzo, I am the Hokage. Koharu, take some people into search, and don't miss any information about wood release. Ignoring Danzo's angry look, the Sandaime directly gave orders to the two elders beside him, although the power of the root will be distributed to Danzo, Koharu and Yen in the future, in order to prevent Danzo from transferring resources after this time, Koharu must go in first to buy the bottom, so as to prevent Danzo from making trouble in secret. Okay, the rest of you follow me in and search. After receiving instructions from Sarutobi Hiruzen, Uchiha Koharu picked a group of people at random and walked into the base, including Uchiha Shinichi who had been following her, swish, swish, swish. Seeing Uchiha Koharu and his group forcing their way in, the root members around them immediately pulled out their kunai. They didn't care whether you were an elder or not, the root only listened to the orders of Lord Danzo. Danzo, you even ignored the Hokage's orders. Are you planning to rebel? Get them out of the way. Facing the root members in front of him, Uchiha Koharu looked at his old friend and threatened him with the Sandaime Hokage as a shield. Xiaochun, you, forget it, all of you, get out of the way. Seeing that the situation was hopeless, Danzo didn't want to make things too awkward. In today's situation, even if he put all the root on the line, he couldn't change the outcome. Hiruzen was obviously well prepared. It was estimated that all the Umbu in Konoha were transferred here by him. Yes, Master Danzo. As the root retreated, Uchiha Shinichi followed Uchiha Koharu into the root base. Everyone, split up and search. Don't miss anything related to wood release. If you find anything important, come and inform me immediately. Yes, Elder Koharu. At Koharu's command, all the Umbu members dispersed. Outside the base, the two sides were still in a standoff. Danzo, I don't want to pursue this matter, but I hope you can cooperate with Xiaochun and Yen in the future. As for Itachi, you'd better behave yourself. He is still useful now. Looking at the Mangekyo Sharingan in his hand, Sarutobi Hiruzen called out to Danzo with a meaningful look. Humph, after all these years, Hiruzen, you are still the same. I don't believe that you, as the Hokage, will ignore Uchiha Itachi's threats. When he really grows up, it will be too late for you to regret. He is worthy of being my teammate for many years. He hasn't even started to act yet, but Uchiha Itachi is not so easy to control. With 3 Mangekyo Sharingan in hand, who in Konoha can control him if he really grows up? Chapter 16. You are listening at novelfull.audio. That guy is the son of Fugaku the Evil Eye, the young patriarch of the Uchiha clan. No matter how much he leans towards the Konoha high-level officials, his status cannot be changed. When the time comes, even if he himself does not want to, the Uchiha clan behind him will take the initiative to help him take the position. It does not matter whether Uchiha Itachi has the idea of a coup or rebellion. As long as he is kept, as time goes by, even if he does not rebel, someone will push him to rebel. Humph, don't worry, I'm not that confused. I've never forgotten what Tobirama taught me. Itachi is nothing to worry about. Now that Shirsui's Mangekyo is in his hands, plus the wood release ninja hidden by Danzo, no matter how strong Uchiha Itachi is, he can't compare to the combination of Mangekyo and wood release. At the root base, Uchiha Shinichi, wearing an Umbu mask, and Uchiha Koharu, led by an Umbu, are rushing towards somewhere quickly. Swish, swish, swish. Is this the place? I didn't expect that Danzo would be so reckless and not be wary of the corpse of the first generation. It seems that he has absolute confidence in his roots. In a slightly empty underground laboratory, Yutain Koharu looked at the broken corpse of Hashirama Senju on the experimental table with a little emotion. Kaito, you continue the search, I will handle this. After all, you are the first generation of Konoha, it is not good for too many people to see you like this. Liuguang, you stay and assist me. Seeing that the main goal was achieved, Yutain Koharu turned around and gave instructions to the ninja who found the body of Senju Hashirama, and left Uchiha Shinichi, who was aliased as Liuguang, behind. Yes, Elder Koharu. Faced with Yutain Koharu's order, Kaito had no doubts. After all, the Sandaime had already said that Elder Koharu would be in charge here. After a flash. Only Yutain Koharu, Uchiha Shinichi, and Senju Hashirama, who was lying on the experimental table, were left in the secret room. Finally, I got it. I took away the body of Senju Hashirama first, and I'll leave the finishing work to you. In order to avoid more trouble, I must get rid of the body of Senju Hashirama immediately, otherwise the high-ranking officials of Konoha outside will intervene, and my chances of taking action in the future will be even slimmer. After all, the other gods are only temporary, and it consumes a lot of pupil power. I understand, sir, you can go without any worries. Faced with Uchiha Shinichi's request, Yutain Koharu had no intention of refusing. As for how to explain to Sarutobi Hiruzen afterwards. What happened in Danzo's ironclad root base? It's obvious who the biggest suspect is. Wouldn't it be a pity to not use a good napkich? Bang! A cloud of smoke filled the air, and the body of Senju Hashirama was put into the sealed scroll. Mayfly technique. Putting away the scroll, Uchiha Shinichi quickly dived into the ground, bypassed the main gate, and went back to the interior of the Death Forest. 10 minutes later. Yutain Koharu, along with a group of Umbu and a slightly ignorant boy, appeared in front of the third Hokage carrying a large number of boxes containing scrolls. Are they all here? Is he the wood-release ninja? Looking at this ordinary-looking boy in front of him, Sarutobi Hiruzen really couldn't associate him with wood-release. It should be him. Apart from those deformed experimental subjects, he is the only normal person in the root base, excluding the root members. And when we found him, he was practicing wood-release ninjutsu. Glancing at the wood-release boy, Yutain Koharu introduced the situation to the third Hokage in a somewhat formulaic manner. Very good, don't use the code name Jia anymore, you will be called Yamato from now on. You should live in the sunshine as you have the wood-release technique. The future of Konoha still depends on young people like you. Patting Yamato on the shoulder, Sarutobi Hiruzen began his skilled brainwashing education. Hiruzen, if there is nothing else, I will leave first. After the turmoil in the root, there are still many things that need me to deal with. Humph, the same old trick of appeasement and persuasion. I have carefully taught Jia, how could he believe these nonsense of yours? But this is not a bad thing. I can use Hiruzen's resources to train my own people, and I can also place an important chess piece next to Hiruzen. Why not? Thinking of this, Danzo's mood after losing the Mangekyo Sharingan improved a little. Well, Yen, go help Danzo. Holding Yamato's hand, Sarutobi Hiruzen casually left Midaman Yen behind, and left with Yutain Koharu and his group without looking back. Danzo, what you did this time was indeed too much. Don't blame Hiruzen for being so angry. After all, you even hid something like Koto Amatsukami from him. Anyone would think too much. Looking at the expressionless Danzo, Midaman N kindly counseled. Humph, after all these years, Yen, don't you know Hiruzen? Koto Amatsukami is just an excuse, the main purpose of his action this time is for my wood release, let's go, the root will have to rely on you and Koharu's help in the future. Without the activation seal of the tongue eradication technique, even if you come to seize power, what can you do? The root will eventually have to listen to me, Danzo, you are just going through the motions. Shinichi, what are you doing in such a hurry? The village has been in turmoil recently, so you'd better not go out as much as possible. Looking at the anxious neighbor, Uchiha Yuri kindly reminded him. The atmosphere in the clan is becoming more and more depressing. The Umbu who are monitoring the outside of the clan have become more blatant since what happened to Shursui. All signs indicate that the conflict between the clan and the village is irreconcilable. It is not appropriate to go out at this time. Got it, Yuri-chan, I'm just walking around, what's the danger? Besides, I'm a chunin of the Uchiha clan. The sudden voice startled Uchiha Shinichi's heart, but Shinichi quickly adjusted his mentality and pretended to be indifferent to Yuri's concern. Alas, you should be more careful. Chunin is nothing in the eyes of some people. You are the only one left in Uncle Doman's family. It's always better to be more careful. Touching Uchiha Shinichi's head, Yuri reminded him with a tone of brother control. After all, this cousin in front of him was also someone he had watched grow up since he was a child. When Aunt Lindgren left, she specifically asked him to be taken care of by him. Got it, Yuri-chan, go do your thing. A mere 2 Magatama special jonin actually lectures a Kage-level strongman like me? You are simply lawless. Humph, you are becoming less and less cute as you grow up. When you were little, you called me sister all the time when you wanted snacks, but now you call me Yuri-chan all the time. You are such a disrespectful guy. Uchiha Yuri looked at Shinichi with a tearful look on his face. Did this guy also feel the influence of the tense atmosphere in the clan? It seems that his temperament has changed a lot recently. Chapter 17. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't be like this, we are so familiar with each other, I won't disturb you if there is nothing else, see you later. Yuri having just obtained the body of Senju Hashirama, Shinichi's mentality is like a mouse that can't save overnight food. Whoosh! Uchiha Shinichi's figure disappeared directly in front of Yuri. Such speed. Shinichi is hiding so deep. I was worried about him. Looking at the fleeing Uchiha Shinichi, Yuri saw the shadow of Uchiha Shursui in the instant body flash technique. No, it feels like he is even faster than Uchiha Shursui. Unconsciously, Shinichi has surpassed himself to become a man who can stand on his own. This is good. In the current situation, more strength means more protection. How could I have such a coincidence to meet Yuri? I have been avoiding contact with familiar people during this period of time, but I didn't expect to meet him today. Could it be that Yuri hasn't seen me for a long time and is blocking me today? Fortunately, I have received the memories of the original owner, otherwise I would have been exposed. Forcing himself to calm his restless heart, Uchiha Shinichi knew that it was the emotions left by the original owner that were interfering with him. After all, the kaleidoscope in his eyes was opened by the original owner and himself. It seems that it is impossible to get rid of the original owner's interpersonal relationships. Even for Yuri, the night of genocide must not happen. From the tone of the old man Sarutobi Hiruzen, it seems that he still has no intention of stopping Itachi's plan to genocide. You are a dirty politician without any sense of the overall situation. Since the demise of the Sarutobi clan cannot stop you, don't blame me for adding a few more clans. Just when I came into contact with this big sister next door, my heart and body reacted involuntarily. What if the original owner's secret crush is killed on the night of genocide? Forget it, brother, you can go to see the 6 Paths Sage with peace of mind. I will take good care of Yuri. Swish. Taking out the scroll containing the corpse of the first generation, Uchiha Shinichi opened the body he had coveted for a long time with his hands trembling with excitement. Bang! A burst of smoke filled the air. Even though decades have passed, the corpse of the first generation with the body of a sage still retains a strong vitality, but the pits and wounds on this body add a bit of horror to the dead Senju Hashirama. Before the night is long and dreams are many, let's start as soon as possible. Pupil technique sacrifice. Buzzed that I saw the 3 Magatama in Uchiha Shinichi's eyes quickly linked together, and formed a strange octagonal pattern under high-speed rotation. The shape was very similar to a certain spice used as a marinade in the previous life. As the eye technique was activated, the pupil of Uchiha Shinichi's left eye trembled violently, and a line of blood slowly flowed out of the eye as Shinichi screamed. The screams continued, and the pupil power was still rapidly depleted. Uchiha Shinichi's vision was becoming increasingly blurred, but the chakra in his body was surging wildly. Damn, is the difference in strength so big? It actually takes so much pupil power. This is just a dead body. If it was Hashirama Senju himself, the pupil power of the eternal Mangekyo would be barely enough to support the sacrifice, right? Feeling the sticky blood on his face, Uchiha Shinichi was not worried at all. As long as he could successfully sacrifice Hashirama Senju, it would not matter even if his Mangekyo Sharingan went blind. The sacrifice continued, and the pupil power left in the Mangekyo Sharingan was less than 1/10. Under the continuous sacrifice, the corpse of the Shodaime disappeared like dust blown by the wind after a tremor. Finally, I succeeded. It's so dark and I'm so tired. How long did it take me? Forget it, let me sleep first. Relying on his senses, Uchiha Shinichi groped his way to the bed. Bang! As Uchiha Shinichi fell asleep, the amazing changes in his body did not stop. Although Hashirama Senju had been a corpse for many years, this sacrifice still brought Shinichi nearly 50% of his strength when he was alive. However, this is not the point. The big deal is the sage body and wood release that came with it, as well as the combat experience gained from years of training during the Warring States period, the secret techniques of the Senju clan, and the unique method of practicing celestial techniques. What? Are you saying that the remains of the first generation were stolen? Why didn't you say that just now? After hearing the report from Uchiha Koharu, Sarutobi Hiruzen asked with a gloomy face, that was the remains of the first generation, which was related to the wood release. What would happen if the enemy got it? Hiruzen, we have gained enough today. We can't push Danzo too hard. Besides, the boy named Yamato is already in our hands. We should always leave some hope for Danzo, right? Faced with Sarutobi Hiruzen's questioning, Uchiha Koharu had already thought of a countermeasure. You mean, Danzo did it? My old friend is indeed likely to do such a thing, not to mention that the result of the wood release has been taken away by me. Who else could it be but him? That is the root base, and there are so many of us guarding there. Who else would dare to act so blatantly except for those inside? Forgive me, Danzo, it's all for that, sir. Is that so? The corpse of the first generation will be temporarily stored in his place. Humph, Danzo still won't give up. It doesn't matter. At most, I can go and harvest leeks myself when the time comes. I hope Danzo won't let me down. Uchiha clan leader's residence. Itachi, has the Sandaime made any moves recently? Looking at this eldest son who made him proud, Uchiha Fugaku felt sad. If he had stopped him from joining the Umbu, would the situation be better now? Father, the Sandaime is still the same. Asuma and the Sarutobi clan's affairs have not affected Sandaime's daily work. As expected of the strongest Hokage in history, with such a heart and such a magnanimity, this is the magnanimity that a Hokage should have. Do those scumbags in your own clan think they are worthy of the position of Hokage? And they are still thinking of a coup. It's really a foolish dream. Same as before. The increasing number of spies outside our clan territory doesn't mean it's the same as before. Itachi, don't forget that you are also a member of the Uchiha clan. At this point, Uchiha Fugaku was completely sure that his eldest son had betrayed him. With such a big movement between the Umbu and the root, Itachi didn't reveal any information. How could this be possible? Then I don't know, everything is decided by the senior elders and the Hokage. I am just an ordinary captain of the Umbu and do not have the right to know the specific details. Here we go again, clan after clan all day long, even father is so short-sighted. Uchiha Itachi, am not only a member of the Uchiha clan, but also a member of Konoha. How can you narrow-minded people understand my tolerance? Chapter 18. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You. Oh, forget it, go see Sasuke, you haven't been with him much lately. Looking at Uchiha Itachi who was stubborn, Fugaku couldn't think of any effective solution for a while. After all, his son has grown up and has his own ideas. Yes, father. Now the entire Uchiha clan is full of rumors of a coup, and the Umbu and the Root have already set up heavy surveillance on the Uchiha clan. The two are just one spark away from blowing up the entire Konoha. No, this kind of thing must not happen, even for Sasuke. I can't let the Sandaime fight alone, I must do something for Konoha. Brother, let's go practice shuriken. You've refused many times. Uchiha Sasuke, who had been waiting outside the door, looked at his brother expectantly, but he was already prepared to be rejected. Okay, I'll accompany Sasuke today. Come on up, I'll carry you to the training ground. Looking at the little brother in front of him, Uchiha Itachi changed his gloomy face when facing Fugaku, and finally showed a smile on his rigid face. Huh? Really? Great, let's go now. Hugging Itachi's neck, Uchiha Sasuke's face turned from expectation to joy. Sasuke, do you like training so much? Training is very hard. At Sasuke's age, it's important for him to make more friends in the ninja school. Itachi, carrying Sasuke on his back, walked leisurely towards the clan's training ground. No, they all say that my brother is the #1 genius of the Uchiha clan, and my father has always been proud of my brother. I want to be like my brother, and I want to be the pride of my father. As for friends, humph, that annoying guy is not my friend. Speaking of friends, Uchiha Sasuke suddenly popped up, the idiot who always wanted to find faults and challenge him. Is that so? It seems that I was overthinking. Our little Sasuke has already made friends. A genius of the Uchiha clan? Another clan. Has Sasuke also been affected? It seems that things can't be delayed any longer. We must make a decision. What happened to the Sarutobi clan before may not happen to the Uchiha clan. However, Sasuke is still young. I must protect little Sasuke. Brother, how did you become so strong? I actually trained secretly, but I didn't improve much. Last time, father taught me the great fireball technique, and I spent a long time learning it. But father said that you learned it very easily. Is there any trick? That as father's son, there is no reason why I can't do what my brother can do. There must be some shortcut that I don't know about. Sasuke, you have to learn to live for yourself and don't worry too much about being your father's pride. Leave all crises to yourself to solve. Sasuke is responsible for living a good life with the name of Uchiha. But, I don't want to disappoint my father. Sasuke tightened his arms around his neck, buried his head in Itachi's shoulder and whispered back. Father is not always right, Sasuke, you will know it later. Late at night, Hokage building. Itachi, have you thought it through? Once this thing starts, there is no turning back. I didn't expect that Itachi could really be so ruthless. It seems that my brainwashing efforts over the years have not been in vain. Everything is for Konoha, please leave it to me, Sandaime-sama, but I have one request, to ensure that my brother Sasuke can live safely. At this point, Uchiha Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan stared at Danzo beside him without disguising. The character of Sandaime-sama can be guaranteed, but the character of the elder Danzo of Konoha's Unshi village in front of him is quite bad. Brother Shisui died at his hands. Don't worry, Itachi. Sasuke is still a child after all. I will pay special attention to his safety. Danzo has been punished for Shisui's incident. Now I have dismembered his power in the root. From now on, all matters in the root will be managed by the two elders, Koharu and En, together with him. You can rest assured. Looking at Uchiha Itachi's undisguised expression, Sarutobi Hiruzen knew very well what he was worried about. Thank you very much, Sandaime-sama. I will leave Sasuke in your care from now on. Although the punishment for Danzo was not as severe as expected, it was at least an explanation to brother Shisui. The Sandaime-sama must have his own difficulties. After all, the Uchiha clan's affairs have made him exhausted. It is obviously a bit beyond his ability to deal with the root. It is really not easy to have such a punishment. Humph, I won't do anything to a child. Uchiha Itachi, I agree with your proposal. You are worthy of being chosen by Hiruzen. I am ashamed of myself in terms of the will of fire. But I'm afraid you can't handle the Uchiha clan alone, right? It's better to let my roots assist you. To annihilate the Uchiha clan, how many Sharingan will you gain? Ha 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 ha. Compared to this, the Koto Amatsukami Mangekyo taken away by Hiruzen doesn't seem to be a big deal. As long as you get the Sharingan of the entire Uchiha clan, can't you realize Izanami's freedom in a minute? This guy Danzo is obviously planning to take over his family's Sharingan. Itachi, everything is for Konoha. The Uchiha clan members cannot shine for Konoha, but the bloodline they left behind can continue to protect Konoha and Sasuke. Go with Danzo. Anyway, the route is no longer controlled by him alone. Seeing Itachi's hesitation, Sarutobi Hiruzen kindly prepared himself psychologically. The Uchiha clan can die, but the Sharingan must stay. This is the property that Konoha has nurtured for many years. Yes, Sandem-sama, but that guy named Uchiha Madara has found. I'm afraid he might take action on the day of genocide. Is that so? He invited you to join that so-called organization before, what do you think? Uchiha Itachi had already revealed the existence of the masked man to the Sandame and others, and the Sandame and others had no way to deal with the so-called Madara. After all, the time-space ninjutsu was too shameless. I would have refused before, but now that the plan to exterminate the clan has been set, there will be no place for me in Konoha. I will take this opportunity to join his so-called organization and pass on their information to Konoha as an undercover agent. Although there is the guarantee of the Sandame, Danzo's character is really not trustworthy. Joining the Akatsuki organization is also a threat. As long as Danzo still cares about Konoha, he dare not attack Sasuke, otherwise he will push himself to the Akatsuki organization and Uchiha Madara. Chapter 19. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I understand. In that case, I will let the Root and the Umbu cooperate with you. As for Sasuke, Danzo. If you want to attack Sasuke, don't blame me for not remembering our friendship for many years. With Itachi's current strength and the infamy he would bear after the genocide, Konoha must not let him fight back. If they force him into a corner, he will not take the blame for the genocide and will jump out to testify against the Konoha high-level officials. Although Konoha will not fall apart at that time, this group of high-level officials will definitely be held responsible for this matter to the end. The Root is no longer under my control. Hiruzen, you still can't protect that brat of the Uchiha clan. That's your problem. But I can guarantee with the reputation of the Shimura clan that I, Danzo, will never attack Sasuke. Uchiha Itachi, you can go without worry. Humph, as long as we take down the corpse of the Uchiha clan and the Sharingan, Uchiha Sasuke, that brat won't matter at all. How can I, Shimura Danzo, be such a short-sighted person? Well, this is the best. Itachi, give me a set of rules for when to act, and I will let the Root cooperate with you. That Uchiha Madara has the time-space-I technique, so he and others have no way to start, but the Uchiha clan's property must be taken before he can do it. Let's do it on Friday evening next week. Give me a few days to prepare. Since he has made up his mind, Uchiha Itachi has prepared himself mentally to cut the Gordian knot. Well, Friday evening. I will let the ninja school end classes later to buy you some time. Leaving Uchiha Sasuke behind can be regarded as retaining a strong force for the Uchiha clan in Konoha. It is a pity that such a powerful blood has disappeared. Then I will trouble you, Lord Sandame. Itachi, I will take my leave. The report has been completed, and Uchiha Itachi disappeared in the house in an instant. Hiruzen, the Uchiha Madara he mentioned should be a fake. Should we try to keep this guy? Although the spacetime ninjutsu is troublesome, there is still a chance of success if we catch him off guard. You want to steal the Uchiha clan's Sharingan from me, Shimura Danzo? I'm afraid this guy has never died. Danzo, you'd better give up this dangerous idea. The other party has the time-space-I technique, but it doesn't mean that the other party only has the time-space-I technique. whether that Uchiha Madara is a fake or not, his identity as an Uchiha clan member can be confirmed. He has the Mangekyo Sharingan. In addition to the time-space eye technique, he at least has the legendary divine power of the Uchiha clan. Moreover, since he dared to come to Konoha to take advantage of the fire, how could he not be on guard against what you call taking advantage of the situation by surprise? That is this old friend of mine smart or stupid? If he is smart, he can't even figure this out. If he is stupid, he can actually hide it from me, the current Hokage, and calculate that I will take the blame for all his actions. Humph, Hiruzen, you are too weak. Danzo, I am the Hokage. Bang. Looking at his old friend who slammed the door and left, the Sandaime Hokage didn't dwell on this matter. The most important thing right now was how to receive the benefits left after the Uchiha clan was exterminated. His own Sarutobi clan had suffered such a great loss, so it was just right to absorb the legacy left by the Uchiha clan this time to make up for the previous losses. However, he had to give up some of his benefits to shut up the major ninja clans. Eating alone would do more harm than good to the Sarutobi clan. 2 days later, Thursday, the weather was fine. Knock knock. Shinichi, are you home? Strange, when did this guy become so obedient? I told him to stay out of the house recently, but he just stayed at home for a few days. Is he scared by the family atmosphere recently? That's not the case, right? Shinichi is so strong. Who is this? Who is this? Did you sleep until noon? Uchiha Shinichi heard the knock on the door in a daze, looked at the sunlight pouring into the room through the window, and was a little confused for a moment. Is the after-effect of this sacrifice so serious? Shinichi. You haven't been out for a few days. Although I asked you to go out less, you don't have to be so serious, right? The family is still very safe. Alas, all the clan members who went out on missions in the past few days have been recalled. It seems that the final moment is coming. I don't know what the result will be. It would be great if Uchiha Shisui was still here. Yuri. Didn't you advise me not to go out yesterday? Why are you saying this so early this morning? Your condition is a bit serious. Have you been to Konoha Hospital? Uchiha Shinichi tidied up his clothes and got out of bed with an unhappy look on his face to open the door. The door was open from the inside, and Uchiha Shinichi, who was still sleepy, appeared in front of Yuri. What yesterday? It's been 3 days since we last met. I saw you didn't go out for a few days, so I came to call you because I was afraid that something might happen to you. Are you confused in your sleep? Touching Shinichi's forehead and finding that he didn't have a fever, Yuri's worries disappeared. What? You said 3 days. I slept for 3 days. Fuck, I'm so lucky. Fortunately, Uchiha Itachi didn't rush to exterminate the clan at this time, otherwise my death would be too unfair. It seems that next time I sacrifice a very powerful person, should find a safer time and place. Huh? You slept for 3 days. It seems that I was worried for nothing. In this atmosphere of the clan, your sleep quality is surprisingly good. I don't know whether to say that you are big-hearted or heartless. Is this guy a pig? He can sleep so well. Let's not talk about that for now. Yuri, do you have any food at home? Let me eat first. I haven't eaten for 3 days, I'm really a little hungry. Uchiha Shinichi, who sacrificed his immortal body, didn't eat a drop of water in the past 3 days. The strong hunger in his stomach made Uchiha Shinichi have the idea of challenging the 3 people and a pig. Ha ha ha, you can actually starve yourself like this just because of sleeping. You are really a shame for Uchiha. Let's go. Order some leftovers. If it's not enough, I'll make more for you. You're already so old, but you're still so worrying. Don't talk about those things, let's go to your house and make some food first. At the moment, eating is the most important thing in the world. Uchiha Shinichi didn't have the slightest idea of being polite and took Yuri's hand and walked towards her house, Eulogia. By the way, have you really slept for 3 days? Did something happen to your body and you were in a coma for 3 days? Do you want to go to Konoha Hospital? After all, who would sleep for 3 days? But while preparing food, Uchiha Yuri was still a little worried as he looked at the impatient Uchiha Shinichi and asked with concern. Don't worry, I know my own body. By the way, Yuri-chan, nothing major happened to the family during the days I was unconscious, right? Taking the hot meal from Yuri, Uchiha Shinichi couldn't wait to wolf it down. Previously at the root base, the tone of the old man from the third generation showed that he had no intention of letting the Uchiha clan go. If there is no change, the night of extermination should be in the near future. Chapter 20. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What could possibly happen? Apart from the increase in the number of Umbu monitoring our Uchiha clan, there is nothing else. Oh, by the way, the Hokage has issued a notice prohibiting everyone from leaving the village since the day before yesterday. Even clan members on missions outside have been forcibly recalled. It seems that the village is going to take action against the Uchiha clan. Huh? You just mentioned coma. You are hiding something from me. You are so heartless that you are eating here even though you have been in a coma for 3 days. Come on, let's go to Konoha Hospital. As they were chatting, Uchiha Yuri suddenly caught the flaw in Uchiha Shinichi's words. What do you mean by coma? You heard wrong, there is no such thing, don't disturb me while I'm eating, by the way, make some more of this braised meat, it's not enough. It seems that the energy demand of the immortal body is quite high. Under normal circumstances, I would have been full after eating all the food on the table, but now I am only 50% full. Are you really okay? Don't be willful, Uncle Tumun only has you as his only child. With such a good appetite, it doesn't look like anything is wrong. Am I overthinking it? If I don't prepare food, I'll really be in trouble. Yuri-chan is getting more and more talkative as she gets older. While eating, Uchiha Shinichi felt the changes in his body. With the blessing of the sage body, his current physical quality is no longer the same level as before. Just based on the body, the current self is enough to completely defeat 10 of his previous selves, chakra. No, that's not right. Now it's a ton of chakra. This amount of chakra is a little less than that of the Nine Tails, but it can also be regarded as semi-infinite chakra. The consumption speed of A-level ninjutsu and below is probably not as fast as his recovery speed. After all, he only obtained the 5th level of the strength of Hashirama Senju, and the sage body can only be regarded as a high-level level at most, and there is still a distance from the perfect sage body. But with his original strength combined with Wood Release and Mangekyo, his current strength is also one of the best in the Super Shadow level, right? When did your appetite become so big? Is the fortune left by Uncle Doman enough for you to do this? Although he complained, Yuri went to the kitchen to continue working, strictly forbidden to leave the village. The clan members who went out were recalled. It seems that the third generation's group has been planning to take action recently. When is the specific date? Judging from the original plot, this genocide should have deliberately avoided Uchiha Sasuke. This should be the initiative of the beast Uchiha Itachi. After all, nothing is more important than his Odudu. The day I fainted was Monday. 3 days later, today is Thursday. According to the ninja school course date, Sasuke has no classes on Saturdays and Sundays. The night of genocide in the original book happened on the night when Sasuke was detained. Tomorrow Friday is the night of the genocide. The only date that fits the original plot is tomorrow. Of course, it is not ruled out that the top leaders plan to take action next week. No, I must take action in advance. If the Sarutobi clan alone cannot stop you top leaders, I will put all your clans on the line. Shinichi, come and help serve the dishes. Do you really want to sit here and eat for free without any help? Uchiha Yuri in the kitchen called out to Uchiha Shinichi, who was still thinking with a slight complaint. Oh, here I come, Sister Yuri, thank you for your hard work. Humph, you are too snobbish, aren't you? Is there anything wrong with you, Yuri-chan? Haha, the main purpose is to make Yuri-chan look younger, isn't that good? What do you mean by looking young? Playing is youthful. It's just that you are too young, Shinichi. Really? Do you think you are old? I am only 17, okay? If you can't praise someone, just shut up. Shinichi, with such a big mouth, can he really find a girlfriend in the future? Yes, you are not old at all. I am old, okay? Uchiha Shin, who was busy eating, didn't care about the dissatisfaction on Yuri's face at all. Humph, you bastard, Shinichi, let's practice after dinner. We must test this guy's skills. That kind of instant body technique is not something that ordinary people can perform. Huh? Why do you suddenly want to find me as a sparring partner? I'm just a chunin. If you want to find a sparring partner, Yuri-chan, aren't there plenty of them in the guards? How dare you, a special jonin, bully a weakling like me? And I'm only 15 years old. It would damage your reputation if it got out, that although sacrificing Hashirama Senju only gave him 50% of his strength, it was already a huge improvement for him. He hadn't even had time to control his sudden surge in strength. If he were to spar with Yuri, he might send her to the Konoha hospital with one punch. Humph, don't pretend. The instant body jutsu you used before is not something a mere chunin can perform. If I'm not mistaken, your strength may have surpassed mine now. Well, it's just a possibility. After all, the instant body jutsu cannot represent the overall strength. Maybe Shinichi was influenced by Uchiha Shursui and secretly specialized in the instant body jutsu. Being surpassed by a younger neighbor boy is absolutely impossible for me, Uchiha Yuri. No time, I have something else to do today. As for that teleportation, it was just inspired by Uchiha Shursui, it's nothing. If tomorrow is the night of genocide in the original book, then I only have tonight left. Alas, I don't even have time to familiarize myself with my own strength. Huh? Is that so? That's right, I've watched you grow up, I don't know how good you are, if you were really that good, you would have been showing off everywhere. Although it's a bit suspicious, if Shinichi said so, then I'll just have to believe him. The one who knows me is Yuri. Late at night, Root Base. Ryoma, get ready and call back all the Root members who are out on missions. There is a big move in the village recently and we need manpower. Shimura Danzo, who was wrapped in bandages, looked at his right-hand man and gave orders. This. Lord Danzo, the mission in the land of rice is quite urgent. Should we ask the Umbu to help with the affairs in the village first? Well, the Umbu is unreliable, so let's call back all the Root except the land of fields. Orochimaru still needs to be watched. Now that the results of the wood release have been taken away by Hiruzen, it's time to join forces with Orochimaru to continue the new wood release plan. I understand, Master Danzo. It seems that the top leaders are finally going to take action against the Uchiha clan. It is really ironic that the Uchiha clan, which is famous in the ninja world for thousands of years, did not perish in the hands of the enemy, but was indeed extinct because of the internal strife in Konoha. Forget it, such a big thing is not something that a Root without emotions like me should consider. Uchiha Madara. No matter who you are, if you want to snatch food from my mouth, you have to show some ability. The Sharingan is not something that anyone can see.